Alright guys, well I'm done playing around with the paint guns. Everything seems to be working good for now. Got that sharp back together. There's a bunch of garbage behind the fluid tip where those things seed in. The fluid tip and the air distribution ring are all one in those guns, in that particular model at least. So I fired it up and tried to spray some clear through it real quick, and it was bubbling in the cup, which usually means that the fluid tip's not tight. So I cranked her a little harder. I think it may be damaged a little bit, so I gave it an extra snug up and sprayed alright. I think it'll make a nice sealer gun for me. So at any rate, I am going to take you guys for a little walkabout, and we're going to see what's in my tool chest. Alright, so we have these two guys right here. I have this 2-section red Craftsman and then this black one over here, which is a 3-section. Got all my China Freight sockets up in the top here. I love Harbor Freight. I like these chrome sockets, the polished ones. They're Pittsburgh. They're supposed to be guaranteed. I've never broken one. One thing I do notice with their open end wrenches, they are, let's see which drawer those are in. Their open end wrenches, if you compare them to a Snap-on, Mac, even Craftsman, whichever, these are pretty nice wrenches. I mean, they're polished and they do work good, don't get me wrong. But if you've got a bolt or a nut that's really a little bit messed up, these are a looser tolerance fit. So I would go to a better wrench. Just my preference. I busted some knuckles using these before. I try and use them on newer stuff, not old stuff. But we'll start with the red toolbox over here. Feeler gauges, some chucks for my grease gun, a grease needle, some marking pens, miscellaneous bullshit in there. That's all my punches. I've got a big slug of steel here for using as a drift to knock things out. This is actually a kingpin bushing for a Chevy 3500 two-wheel drive. You can see the little slot in it right there where they lock in place. I have this little slug of aluminum here for driving out softer metals so you don't screw things up. And I got some picks in there too, stuff like that. Allen keys. Those are Harbor Freight. They work good. They're a little long for my taste, but they didn't have any short ones when I was there. These are probably a couple years old. But the little Allen set screw in them backs out, so you kind of have to go around and tighten them all up occasionally. Craftsman wrenches. Standard. Craftsman wrenches. Metric. I do have some flare nut wrenches too for brake lines and things like that. You guys are wondering what this is. This is a caliper for measuring trees. They give those away at trade shows, just happens to be in there. Screwdrivers, trim clip removal tool. Screwdriver helper. This stuff is like a grit. It works great on Phillips screws. Put it in the drop of it in there and it helps bite a little bit better so you don't strip, especially on something that you may not get a square bite on when you're trying to take it out in a hard to reach place. That's pretty much it for that drawer. We have drill bits, more drill bits, spade bits. Those are tools for router. Forstner bits for drilling a blind square hole instead of using these. These will drill it, especially if you're putting like dowel plugs in to hide a screw or something when you're doing woodwork. I don't do a lot of woodwork, but I bought those when I was doing work on my boat. Alright. Files, little keyhole files, bastard files, mill files. Those are wood rasps. Little, I don't know that you want to call this a pocket hacksaw, but that's kind of handy for cutting small things. Aluminum welding rod. This is a Harbor Freight special. Let's see if I can find anything on it here. Basically, you melt this on with a torch. It doesn't work too bad. I bought it. I tried welding a flywheel for a push mower. That was the best worst idea I ever had. Did not work. This drawer, I don't know how my body hammer got in there, but several die grinders, cut-off wheel grinder, air fittings, some random discs. This drawer, a lot of the abrasives in this drawer are all for metalwork stuff. Like I said, wire wheels, all that happy bullshit. These nylon bristle discs, these I think are 80 grit. And you're doing a spray-in bed liner, these things work sweet. Save some time on sanding because it's a pain in the ass. Hammers. Big hammer, little hammer, baby hammer, some wire brushes, big valve spring compressor tool, oil filter wrenches, couple pipe wrenches. It's for expanding tailpipe. If you need to make a flare, you run that, shove it in there and run the bolt in and you can flare it open. Kind of a piece of shit. Matco oil filter pliers. These things are the cat's ass. Bottom drawer is miscellaneous junk, I think. I'm not even going to open it because I know there's nothing but like snowplow parts and stuff in there. Okay, black box. Got some scrapers and stuff in there. Top tray is all my impact sockets. Some clamps, a beacon, fender cover. Nothing too great up there. Homemade tool here. Made my own little socket. It's a spanner wrench for taking the flywheels off Honda dirt bikes. Or at least my particular 250. This drawer. Soldering tools. What else is in there? Lighter to light the gas-powered soldering torch. Little pencil torch, Harbor Freight, piece of shit. I don't know why I don't throw it away. Soapstones for marking steel when you're doing metal work. This one is Allen keys and quick disconnect for fuel lines and such. Torx. That's it for that guy. It's got this bastard drawer in it right here, which is basically, I don't know if you guys can see, there's some zip, I just keep all my zip ties in it. So this one, they left a drawer out and put this little organizer in here, as well as on the top of this shelf, which I keep screws and stuff in those. More screwdrivers, Harbor Freight, they work good. Security bit set. It's got all kinds of little miscellaneous stuff. You look at some of the bits in here and you wonder what the hell they're for. There's actually, I don't know where it's at, I'm looking for it here, but they actually have the one that'll take the partition walls down for like public restrooms. They have those goofy fasteners in them. Not why I bought it. I bought it so I could have all the assortment. Okay. Straight jaw. These are Craftsman channel locks. I love them. I forget who the hell I was watching yesterday. Maybe it was Rich said something about the curved ones don't bite that well. These ones bite pretty good, but he's right. Straight jaw ones will really bite well. Oh, let's see. Wire strippers, more pliers, stuff like that. Let's see if I can open these stupid things up. I call these doofus clamp pliers for the stupid spring clamps they put on newer cars that aren't a screw type like a breeze clamp. That's what these are for. And miscellaneous drawer here, mostly metalwork stuff, tin snips, tubing bender, levels. These cutters are pretty awesome. These are Husky, and what they are, I'll open them up here. That's a straight razor blade. And I bought these when I was doing a refinish job on my dad's pickup. We put it was an '85 Chevy pickup, and it had the Silverado trim. And when you buy the aftermarket stuff, it's plastic and it's cut to fit. And those things cut that trim awesome. If you need a square cut on something, that'll do it. Yeah, we already been through this drawer. Standard Harbor Freight wrenches, metric. Those are all long ones. Okay, more Harbor Freight stuff. Torque wrench, 3/8, half, and quarter drive torque wrenches. Miscellaneous wheel speed sensors in there from my Chevy trucks that love to eat wheel bearings. And then my short Harbor Freight wrenches, pry bars, a valve lapping suction cup tool. Just set that back down. Big crescent wrench. I use that thing a lot. Air tool drawer. Old Ingersoll Impact. 3/8 air drill. Air hammer. 3/8 Impact Harbor Freight. I love it. I think I paid $30 for it. That thing, I use it the hell out of it. And then my Blue Point 1/2-inch drive, which I like. And my old Craftsman air ratchet. I've seen better days. Little 1/4-inch drive, Harbor Freight air ratchet. That thing's a nice tool too for I think 20 or $30. Some tips, contact tips for the welder. Impact screwdriver. That thing's beat to hell, but it saved me a couple times. Harbor Freight also. Tap and die sets. Easy out screw extractors. Those are Harbor Freight. Complete shit. I broke at almost every one of them. Best thing to do is these fluted ones, like this guy, which are basically square. Drill your pilot hole and tap it in there. They bite better than anything. You could take a square piece of steel or a bolt, and then a bolt. It'd have to be a grade 8 bolt probably, but if you grind it square, or a piece of tool steel, grind it square so it's got sharp edges. Use those. It works a hell of a lot better. Some acid brushes, some terminal assortments. This is the overflow drawer. I've got shrink tubing, my test light, my multimeter, my vacuum pump for extracting fluids and things like that. Red box has got dial calipers that are older than me in them. And the bottom drawer is another leftover drawer. Prop puller for my boat, for pulling inboard props. Couple angle grinders, electric drill, hacksaw, 3-jaw puller, couple sets of those. That's about it for there. And I got the roll around battery charger, the Miller 180. That's my welder. That's got a 35 wire in it now. I don't weld body metal with that. I was welding some heavier stuff. I have a spool 023 that I use for that. Oh, there's the panel beater dent puller machine. Plasma cutter. That is a Thermodynamics Cutmaster 52. I bought both of those last year. I had a one. These are both 220 machines, single phase 30 amp. I had an older Miller that was a little smaller than that, and it had infinite wire speed, but it only had like 1, 2, 3, 4 for settings for the heat ranges. And I wanted to get this. I'm not a big fan of the auto set. I kind of like setting to where I weld and my speed. Let's see, cordless toolkits. Top one's rigid, bottom one, that one's Ryobi. Screw assortment, nut and bolt assortment, I'm sorry. More ratchets. That's a socket set I've had since I was probably 17 or 18. Replace things as I lose them. So I've had that almost 20 years right now. lubricant, stuff like that. This is all filters and things like that for my equipment and trucks and whatnot. Rattle can lubricant stuff, more filters and bullshit over there. I'll take a walk over to the paint arena. My first file cabinet here. File cabinet, listen to me, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. My first cabinet here, these are pretty cool. I'll close the doors on this one. This one doesn't have stuff all over it. Those were old AC Delco cabinets from a garage that my buddy's family owned, and they had them in storage for a long time. They're rusty. They sat, especially this one. I should probably try the carbon fiber on those, but I'm not quite that ambitious. There's a lot of shit in those cabinets. So anyway, my airbrush. I might mess around with that a little later today. Red Scotch pads. That one's gray Scotch pads. Some, you can't even see in there, tack cloths. Sanding blocks. Those guys are my favorite. So, firm on this side and a little softer on this side. Use that for blocking small spot areas of primer. I'd love to get a set of Durablocks, but I really don't have $100 bill to put toward that right now. I got a Schutz gun in there. These eraser wheels here, those will go in a roll lock. They're expensive, but there's several flaps that go together for burning off pinstripes and stuff. These are my favorite. They have these gummy ones. I hate them. Some steel wool, some more discs in there, some fine line tape, not the blue nice stuff. Extra filter for my motor guard, water separator, 3-inch discs for the die grinder. Lots and lots of double-sided tape. I always try and pull moldings whenever I can, so got plenty of that. China Freight suction cup puller. It'll pull some dents out. Other ones, you got to put a good pull to it and you'll be on your ass because it lets go. Carries glass nice, that's about it. My Vaco fastener assortment there. Little Harbor Freight close quarter drill, little angle drill. Soldering iron, staple guns, a hand stapler, and electric stapler. Underneath the Teflon tape there, that's a tire plug kit. Assorted fasteners and O-rings and stuff like that. And then this one, basically this is the paint cabinet. And I have some manuals in there too because I don't have anywhere else to put those. And then this is also kind of a paint cabinet, but I keep more of my primers and my prep products in here. I have some Sada disposable cups in there. Those are pretty nice, but they're fucking rip-off. They're like $140 for that box. But not knowing when I first bought my Sada gun, I decided I wanted to try disposable cups. And didn't realize it was a PPS adapter in the box, or I wouldn't have bought those. So then I bought the PPS cups. I have one of those on there. I'll show it in a minute. Some rattle can etch primer. Weld through primer, dust respirators back there, some seam sealer, my little touch-up gun, more finishing stuff, hook and loop discs, 400 up to 2000 in there, some white balls, a couple more PPS cups, lighter fluid that works good for taking off goo and tar and things like that. If wax and grease remover doesn't get it, that especially works good for the double-sided tape when it rips in half. My finished DA and my my larger orbit DA. And then primer. I have etch primer in there, sealer and high build, and reducers and stuff like that. The little torque thing that's supposed to be for a towel dispenser, like that guy up there. That's just holding all my buffing bonnets and stuff like that. Some soft edge foam masking tape. I've had this a long time. It's actually almost gone and it's going to shit. It's just sat around too long. Mixing cups. And then this cabinet's got pretty much all polishing supplies in it. And cleaning supplies. Detailing, I should say. My Fusor gun is in there for bumper repair products. And then the paint bench, of course, over here, which my color books are up here. These are hand-me-downs. This is for PPG stuff, but at least I can look for codes and kind of, if I don't know what the name of the color is, it'll be in that book. And the other nice thing is, I don't know if I can find it quickly. This video is probably going to get long and boring as shit, but these things were in my buddy's body shop when he closed up. I'm trying to see one of these. Let's go to Ford. It'll tell you, let me flip several pages here, tells you the location of where the paint code might be. Some of the cars, I mean, they put them in some of the stupidest places. I know it's in here. It'll make a liar out of me. Somewhere over the rainbow. Maybe not. Maybe not that particular one. Try to import one. Oh, there we go. Paint code. Let's see if I can get this bad boy to focus. Paint code locations for imported car colors, and then they give numbers and all the various locations, and then a description of where they're going to be at for those cars. See, they say like Audi location 11. And location 11 is trunk. Under the mat in the trunk, which GM does that a lot. Cadillacs and Buicks. You have to pull the fucking spare tire out and or pull the carpet off the spare tire cover. Sometimes the sticker's on there. Sometimes it's underneath the spare tire in that little well. I don't understand what the hell they do that for, but is what it is. I like them in the door jamb. Fords do that. Stir sticks, time cards for my guys. That's where the body hammers go. And pretty much I keep things like the body filler. Probably making you guys nauseous spinning you around like this. Body filler sits on the bench all the time. And of course the shop stereo, which I don't run when I'm talking to you guys because YouTube would be wiping my videos out. So, and then the air compressor's over in this little area adjacent to my paint room. So, I'm going to cut this off here in a minute because we're going to really have a hell of a time uploading this. I think I might split this video off from the last ones. My glass bead cabinet, TP Tools, right there. Airline set up there on the wall. My new shop light that I made, and basically down this area and left of that door that's open there, that's all my maintenance equipment. We have a welding bench here, pedestal grinder. This pegboard, I used to have tons of shit on it, but I got rid of all of that. My little paint booth, which I'm not using right now. I'm using my big fan with my filters down the hall. I wanted to get this going for doing spot stuff and moving it up real close to where you're working, you know, not in your way, but this thing moves some serious air, and I need to get some duct work and then put my filters in the front of it. This was actually a small, like a hobbyist paint booth, but this thing moves some massive air, and I've turned it on while I was painting before, and it draws overspray like a son of a bitch. I just need to find some 18-inch tubing or fabricate something like the stuff they use to ventilate the guys that are working down in the manholes and stuff like that, like city workers and utility workers. I need something about that size, and then I'll duct it out the side of my building. Another bench. This one's so old, I got a chop saw underneath it and a gas-powered drill that I use for drilling holes for planting shrubs and things like that. Smaller stuff, it's just easier and faster when you're planting potted plants, things like that. Lots of wood blocks. I use a lot of that stuff. I'll prop stuff on it to paint it, blocking things up when you're working on it. Got the drill press right here. That's an older drill press. And then that's about it. I don't know what else to show you guys. My little masking tree there. So that's it for now. I'm gonna split this off. This video is like 25 minutes. So thumbs up, thumbs down. It's all good. Whatever you guys like. I'm just looking for something to do, and hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch you guys.